Manx Radio Sport, brought to you by the Pritchard.
Coming into the final 10 minutes of normal time at the end of the first half, Darren, what does either side have to do to maybe find another gear at the moment to try and change the dynamic?
I think, starting with Ramsbottom, I think they've obviously been the more imposing side. They've probably been the better side in this first half so far, but they haven't just done quite enough in front of goal. I think in that final third, they definitely need to be a little bit better, and I'm sure they'll know that themselves.
Come back to that in just a moment. Carl Clark, he's completely got the clearance wrong there. Oscar Radcliffe right as he walks across the edge of the penalty area, and it's bundled home from 6 yards by Gareth Hill. And it's Ramsbottom United who take the lead with just over 36 minutes played. FC Alaman 0, Ramsbottom United 1. And it's all thanks to the work down the right-hand side of Oscar Radcliffe. Carl Clark initially on the left edge of the box. He tried to clear it, just completely scuffed his clearance. That made it fall very kindly indeed to Oscar Radcliffe, who just quickly took it under his spell, just rolled his marker, Carl Clark, on the right edge of the box. Squared it across the 6-yard area. There was Gareth Hill. He seemed to need a couple of bites at the cherry as he slid in to try and poke it home, but the second touch was telling, and he pokes it into the back of the net from just around 2 or 3 yards out. Darren, you said it just a couple of moments ago. They've maybe looked the better side and looked the more imposing, and they've finally broken the deadlock here. FC Alaman 0, Ramsbottom United 1. Yeah,
sometimes you just need the ball to go in however it's going to go in. I said being better in the final third. I don't think they actually were better in the final third in that occasion, but a scuff shot into the back of the net is a goal for Ramsbottom, and it's what they probably think they deserve.
Got that really good assist for Gareth Hill's goal earlier in the half. Radcliffe down the right-hand side, goes out for a throw-in, his long looping ball down the right, and that's the last action of the first half in the sunshine here at the Ball. Half-time in the NWCFL Premier Division, FC Alaman 0, Ramsbottom United 1. It's been pretty cagey between these two sides for much of the opening 45 minutes, but Ramsbottom United with the first clear-cut opportunity that either team has had so far, they have made it count. Back to the halfway line for Ibeto. Under pressure from Dean Pinnington here. Ibeto wrestling away from a couple of the challenges. It's going to be brought back for a foul by Pinnington, who just pulled back Ibeto as he went forward there. Referee tried to play the advantage there, Darren. No advantage coming.
No, and you can hear the frustration from the FC Alaman fans, who I think they probably thought they had a foul a few moments ago.
Quick free kick down the right-hand side. There's Radcliffe across the 6-yard area. Looks for Hill, and the touch into the far corner. FC Alaman 0, Ramsbottom United 2. It's Gareth Hill and Ramsbottom United second here, with just over 6 minutes gone in the second half. And it's that same combination down the right of Radcliffe and Hill. Quick free kick from Salby down the right-hand side. Found Radcliffe in acres of space, right edge of the box, and almost a carbon copy of the goal in the 36th minute in the first period. Radcliffe across the area. Gareth Hill, if anything, had a little more work to do this time. Gets across his marker, gets a toe to it, and it's an important toe to it as well, because Killier was rooted to the spot as Hill's touch just went beyond Killier to the goalkeeper's right and into the bottom right-hand corner. And after what had seemed like a positive start for the home side to try and get themselves back into this game, they now find themselves at a 2-goal disadvantage. FC Alaman 0, Ramsbottom United 2, Darren.
Yeah, and that's exactly what the away team were looking for. Obviously, we mentioned FC Alaman starting a little bit strong, coming up, pressing the Ramsbottom defence, but they've done well to hold off that pressure and got themselves a goal in a similar way to the first half, like you mentioned. FC Alaman, I'm not sure if they were just sleeping in behind. I think they, maybe arguing whether or not Ramsbottom should have had a free kick, but that doesn't matter in the end.
It's looked very assured at the moment, particularly that trio, if you like, in there of Collins, Wilson and Ibeto has looked very imposing up against this FC Alaman attacking line so far.
Yeah, they haven't, I think it's fair to say, they haven't really been troubled at all in this game. I think, FC Alaman haven't had too many shots on goal, and when they had, they've either blocked them or forced, earlier in the half, Jimmy Lowther into a wide position where he couldn't really do anything with a shot anyway. So they've looked strong, but they need to stay that way.
There is Macaulay Wilson with another header down the right-hand side. It's an FC Alaman free kick. Dean Pinnington pushed in the back by Oscar Radcliffe. So that is going to be an FC Alaman free kick on their left-hand side, just inside, around 5 yards or so inside the Ramsbottom half. Pinnington wants to switch it immediately from left to right. Finds Whitley on the right edge of the box. Here is Whitley, got an overlapping run. Whitley clips it in instead. There's Charlie Higgins with a header into the bottom corner. Game on. FC Alaman 1, Ramsbottom United 2, and FC Alaman's top scorer from last season is off the mark for the 26-27 campaign. Pinnington, quick thinking from the left-hand side. He transferred it from left to right to Steve Whitley, who was allowed to cut inside on his favoured left foot. He floated it into the 6-yard box between the two centre-halves, and there was Charlie Higgins, just nodded it back across goal. Reece Truman rooted to the spot. It's Truman's bottom left-hand corner. And FC Alaman are on the scoreboard and back in the contest, Darren. FC Alaman 1, Ramsbottom United 2.
Yeah, exactly what the home side needed. And that's what we said before. We mentioned the impact that Steve Whitley and Charlie Higgins could have on this game. Higgins now, I think, with his fifth goal against Ramsbottom.
That is correct, yes. Fifth goal against Ramsbottom in the meetings he's had with them so far. But does that maybe just change? Is that the change in the tide that FC Alaman have been looking for. Can Ramsbottom United just shore things up again? Outside of that, FC Alaman have done very little to threaten what has been a very composed Ramsbottom United defence to this point. Pennington, left-footed in swinger from the corner. Callum Sherry won't quite get there. The final touch is off his marker, which is Matthew Dudley of Ramsbottom United. Out for a corner on the far side, Matthew Dudley suggesting that it's, or arguing I should say, that it came off the FC Alaman defender. Referee's not interested. Take two for Pennington on the far right-hand side of where we are. Left-footed in swinging delivery. Pennington into the near post. Headed on by Maitland. Scramble in the box. Across goal off the post. Saved by the keeper. And somehow off the line. It's been given. It's been given. It's 2-2. And it's Charlie Higgins again, we think, who's got the second. With 18 and a half minutes gone in this second half. It was whipped into the near post by Pennington, headed on by Alex Maitland. There was a very quick scramble 6 yards out. Charlie Higgins just threw a boot at it from 6 yards. It beat the goalkeeper, hit the inside of the post. The keeper then recovered. And then it was hidden behind a sea of shirts. Initially cleared away, but the referee very quickly, Andy Philbin, signalled that it had crossed the line, Darren. 2-2.
Yeah, and you can hear the ball has come to life. FC Alaman bringing themselves back into the game, just what they needed from a Ramsbottom perspective. That's absolutely terrible because, you know, they got themselves a 2-0 lead. We were just speaking about how they needed to stay strong defensively, and they've just thrown it away completely. And FC Alaman with all the momentum now.
Radcliffe, his close deflected infield to Ibeto, who launches one forward. Chested down by Gareth Hill. Under pressure from Carl Clark here. Knocks it in field for Daniel Forbes. Hill goes down to the challenge. Referee plays the advantage. Sliding in to win it is Thomas Brown for FC Alaman on the halfway line. Frees Callum Sherry, who looks out to the right-hand side. Here's Steve Whitley with a bit of space up against Collins. Whitley finds the overlapping run of Callum Sherry. Rifled across goal and headed home by Pennington at the back post. FC Alaman 3, Ramsbottom United 2. The Ravens have turned it around at the bowl. And it's Dean Pennington now on the score sheet. They win it back. It's Thomas Brown backtracking from the attacking line in the centre. Slides in to win it back on the halfway line. Feeds Callum Sherry to Whitley on the right-hand side. Sherry continues his overlapping run down the right. Whitley finds him. It's rifled across goal, across the 6-yard box. Diving header at the back post. Dean Pennington, he rockets the header in from just a couple of yards out. What a turnaround this has been in the last few minutes from FC Alaman. From 2 goals down, they now lead by 3-2, Darren.
Yeah. This game has turned absolutely on its head, but that goal there, Rob, started all with Thomas Brown in the middle of the pitch. His sliding tackle on Daniel Forbes, getting the move underway. Callum Sherry with the overlapping run, and a brilliant ball across the box to Dean Pennington, who was in the right place at the right time. FC Alaman taking full advantage of their momentum, something we've criticised them, I think, in the past for not doing.
They're preparing as well, the visitors, Isaac Lamb to come on in probably the next few minutes or so. It doesn't look like it's going to be before this corner's taken. We're going to have this corner first. So Charlie Cox, left-footed in swinger, into the final 5 minutes of normal time at the ball. FC Alaman 3, Ramsbottom United into the... Oh, it's off the crossbar! Headed off the crossbar by Carl Clark. Well, Charlie Cox's cross into the centre. It was whipped in directly towards goal. It's now whipped to the back post. Here's Nathan Becker trying to get on the end of it. That's gone out for an FC Alaman goal kick. Goodness me, Charlie Cox, he whipped that in towards goal. Adam Killy seemed to come to his near post, got his footing all wrong, over the top of the goalkeeper. And Carl Clark had to be there at the back post, headed it onto his own crossbar, Darren. Heart-in-mouth moment for FC Alaman.
From a really unlikely source as well, straight from the corner kick. Adam Killy, I'm sure, will be unbelievably grateful.
Michael Ibeto, the defender, is now taking a much more attacking role in these final few moments. Perhaps a physical presence up there. Here's Matthew Dudley. Floated out to the right-hand side. Agunbi, the substitute, bring it down up against Jacob Crook. Crook wins it back legally as Agunbi goes down in the eyes of the referee. That's floated up the left-hand side for Thomas Brown. No flag coming here. Thomas Brown might be onside, wants to square it across the box. Charlie Higgins has missed it completely up against the keeper. Truman now racing out to the left edge of his box. Truman clears it down the left-hand side, and that's going to be an FC Alaman throw-in on the right-hand side. The goalkeeper temporarily out of position. He has now recovered. But a chance for FC Alaman to seal the game once and for all. It was a ball down the left-hand side from Jacob Crook into Thomas Brown. There were claims for an offside that never came. And Thomas Brown had the option of Charlie Higgins in the centre, squared it through. And Higgins, with only the goalkeeper to beat, completely misses the ball, Darren.
Yeah, I'm not sure how he's not managed to even touch the ball. It was right there for him to just smack it into the back of the net. The goalkeeper wouldn't have had a chance. And obviously, just worth mentioning, Thomas Brown was always going to be onside because he started the run inside his own half.
Yes, very well pointed out, Darren. Thank you very much. Well, out to the left-hand side. Here's a chance for Isaac Lamb to get forward. Rowan Chambers steps away from one challenge, and for two, it's a Nathan Becker. It's saved, and in through the legs of Ibeto on the rebound. It's out to Oscar Radcliffe on the right-hand side. Whips that to the back post. That's beyond Isaac Lam and out for an FC Isle of Man goal kick. Celebrations from Adam Killier, but a huge opportunity. Rowan Chambers picked it up on the left edge of the box. Great composure initially. Under pressure from 3 FC Isle of Man defenders, just squared it 2 yards or so to his right, and Nathan Becker with the goal, and Killier at his mercy, but it's straight at the goalkeeper's legs, Darren.
I like, similarly with Charlie Higgins, I don't know how FC Isle of Man didn't get a fourth. I have absolutely no idea how Ramsbottom haven't equalised.
It was one of those strikes, if it's either side of the goalkeeper, it's in the back of the net, but it happened to be straight at his leg, and then the deflection went through the legs of Michael Abeto, who was going in for the rebound.
Yeah, I know, and he was stood in the right place as well, but he just wasn't quick enough to react to it.
Rhys Truman knocks it ball forward. That's going to be the last action. There's no chance for Ramsbottom United to get a last equaliser. FC Isle of Man have fought back to take 3 points here at the Bowl and continue their unbeaten start to the season. Full time, FC Isle of Man 3, Ramsbottom United 2.
Manx Radio Sports, brought to you by the Pritchard.